off into the day with the dew all on her breast. And like the pretty ploughboy, she whistles and she sings, and comes home into the evening with the dew all on her wings. Well, Roger the ploughboy, he is a roving blade, and goes whistling and singing throughout of yonder glade. And he met with dark-eyed Susan, she's handsome I declare, and she's far more enticing than the birds up in the air. Oh, the lark in the morning, she rises from her nest, and goes off into the day with the dew all on her breast. And like the pretty ploughboy, she whistles and she sings, and comes home into the evening with the dew all on her wings. And as they were a-coming home from the wakes of a town, well, the grass all been mown and the hay been all cut down. And if they should sport and tumble all in the new mown hay, why, it's kiss me now or never, this young girl did say. Oh, the lark in the morning, she rises from her nest, and goes off into the day with the dew all on her breast. And like the pretty ploughboy, she whistles and she sings, and comes home into the evening with the dew all on her wings. Well, and after 20 weeks they were all gone and past, and her mammy asked the reason why she did picking round the ways. Oh, it was this handsome ploughboy, this young girl did say, for he's causing me to tumble all upon the new mown hay. Oh, the lark in the morning, she rises from her nest, and goes up into the day with the dew all on her breast. And like a pretty ploughboy, she whistles and she sings, and comes home into the evening with the dew all on her wings. Here's a health to all the ploughboys, wherever they may be, and especially those that like to take a pretty girl upon their knee. With a pint of good strong porter, they'd whistle and they'd sing, for the ploughboy is as happy as a prince or a king. Oh, the lark in the morning, she rises from her nest, and goes up into the day with the dew all on her breast. And like the pretty ploughboy, she whistles and she sings, and comes home into the evening with the dew all on her wings.
It's 50 long springtimes since she was a bride, but still you may see her at each Whitsun tide, in a dress of white linen with ribbons of green as her memories of loving. that were nimble, tread carefully now, as gentle a measure as age do allow. Through groves of white flowers, by fields of young corn, where once she was pledged to a true love. But the fields they stand empty, and the hedges grow free. No young men to mind them, or pastures go see. They are gone with the forest of oak trees to fall. They're gone to be wasted in battle. All from the green downlands and from their loved ones marched husbands and brothers and fathers and sons. There's a fine roll of honor where the maple once stood, and the ladies go dancing at Whitsun. There's a straight row of houses in these latter days, all covering the downs where the sheep used to graze. There's a field of red poppies, a wreath from the Queen, and the ladies remembered at Whitsun. 'Tis 50 long springtimes since she was a bride, but still you may see her at each Whitsun tide, in a dress of white linen with ribbons of green, as green as sad memories of loving. And the ladies go dancing at Whitsun.
Some men sing of Africa and some sing of Spain. Men sing of the Northlands where the snow never wanes. Men sing about mountains or the green hills of home. I'll sing of the filed plain by the Irish sea foam. So awake to the west winds and the wild blowing suns, and the cries of the seabirds o'er the long Silvers run. Well bounded by Pennines, the Ribble and the Wyre, the Romans built villas and the Vikings brought fire. Long ships and galleons with bright Spanish gold lie buried forever in the black soil, we're told. So awake to the west winds and the wild blowing suns, and the cries of the seabirds o'er the long Silvers run. Where the mosses were refuge for men and wild birds, when the squabbles of kings turned to war and not words. Brave Alan and Tyldesley and Rigby of fame, they defended the faith and were heroes by name. So awake to the west winds and the wild blowing suns, and the cries of the seabirds o'er the long Silvers run.
where the sea is so restless and the wild winds so strong. A village once vanished by the black penny stone, and many's the dark nights to the old women's tales. I have heard the lost voices on the cold winter gales.
So awake to the west winds and the wild blowing suns, and the cries of the seabirds o'er the long silver run.
From the horse to old Rosshall and the waters of Mere, the fingers of windmills stood out sharp and clear, and the cattle grazed peacefully on the rough windy haze. In the quiet of England on those long summer days.
So awake to the west winds and the wild blowing suns, and the cries of the seabirds o'er the long silver run.
Now we bricks and stone pavements, a tower made of iron, where the lights are ablaze from the dark until dawn. Noise and pink candy floss and the cheap thin veneer of the glittering tinsel for people to cheer.
So awake to the west winds and the wild blowing suns, and the cries of the seabirds o'er the long silver run. So awake to the west winds and the wild blowing suns, and the cries of the seabirds o'er the long silver run.
Well, a fair maid walking all in her garden, when a brisk young sailor she chanced to spy. He stepped up to her, thinking to woo her, and said, "Fair maid, could you fancy I? Now you seem to me like a man of honour, and a man of honour you'd seem to be. How can you impose on a poor young woman who is not fit your servant to be?" Well, if you're not fit for to be my servant, still I've a great regard for thee. I'd marry you, I'll make you my lady, and you'll have servants to wait on thee. Oh, but I've a true lover of my own, sir, and 7 years he's been gone from me, and 7 more I would wait all for him, for if he's alive he'll be true to me. Then when he saw that his love was loyal, then down before her he did fall, saying, "I'm the poor and young single sailor that many long years on the ocean did sail. Now if you're my poor and young single sailor, show me the token I gave to thee. For 7 years have I made an alteration, since my true love have gone to sea." So he pulled his hand all from his pocket, and his fingers they being long and small, saying, "Here's the ring that we broke between us," and when she saw it, then down she fall. So he picked her up all in his arms, and kisses gave her 1, 2, 3, saying, "I'm the poor and young single sailor that I
Snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave of Donald, and cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house of MacDonald.
They came in a blizzard, we offered them heat, a roof for their head, dry shoes for their feet. We wined them and dined them, they ate of our meat, and slept in the house of MacDonald.
Oh, cruel is the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave of Donald, and cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house of MacDonald.
They came from Fort William with murder in mind. The Campbells had orders King William had signed. Put all to the sword, these words underlined, but leave none alive called MacDonald.
Oh, cruel is the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave of Donald, and cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house of MacDonald.
They came in the night when the men were asleep, this band of Argyles through snow soft and deep, like murdering foxes amongst helpless sheep, they slaughtered the house of MacDonald.
Oh, cruel is the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave of Donald, and cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house of MacDonald.
Some died in their beds at the hand of the foe, some fled in the night and were lost in the snow, some lived to accuse him who struck the first blow, but gone was the house of MacDonald.
Oh, cruel is the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave of Donald, and cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house of MacDonald.
Well, I don't want money and I don't want fame. I left the school with a modest aim. At the Labour Exchange I went for work, and this is what I said to the little old clock. I'm looking for a job with the sky-high pay, a 4-day week and a 2-hour day. Maybe it's because I'm inclined that way, but I never did like being idle. He said to me, that's a fine old song, coming from a lad who's so big and so strong. Take this card through the door on the left and show it to the gaffer at Harland's Yard. I'm looking for a job with the sky-high pay, a 4-day week and a 2-hour day. Maybe it's because I'm inclined that way, but I never did like being idle. So I sang it to the gaffer and he thought me daft, I've never ever heard such a horse's laugh. He gathered up about him all his men, and just like a choir they all sang then. I'm looking for a job with the sky-high pay, a 4-day week and a 2-hour day. Maybe it's because I'm inclined that way, but I never did like being idle. So the song soon went down the riverside. It became known as the Song of the Clyde. The song soon went the world around, and it became known as the Glasgow Sound. I'm looking for a job with the sky-high pay, a 4-day week and a 2-hour day. Maybe it's because I'm inclined that way, but I never did like being idle. Lord Derby sat in the Isle of Man as he waited for the king to come on down from Scotland, the army for to bring. And when the news came in great haste to raise old hopes anew, Lord Derby sailed with all his host and landed at Skipool. Sir Thomas Tyldesley, brave and strong, with Derby by his side, rode proudly through the foil lands, the banners flying high. At Preston they did rest a while and called the gallant men to lay old Cromwell by the heels and raise the king again. Sir Thomas said, come on you lads, you vile men born so true, you'll not desert the king this day when he has need of you. And men marched in from Bolton town, from Pilling and Ross Hall, from Lytham, Steyning and Kirkham, they answered to the call. The young Rigby of Leighton, just 17 years of age, put on his sword and helmet with Tyldesley to engage. Sir Thomas said he, I am your man, as my father was before. For the king I'll fight on your right hand, ere I see the mere once more. With horse and pike and cannon, their force it was complete. They marched to the beating of the drums and the cheers in the Preston streets. But at Wigan met the Protector's man, John Lilliburn was his name, who swore to have Lord Derby's head and hang Tyldesley in shame. Sir Thomas said, Lord Derby, we've seen many weary fights. Our swords will find our destiny ere the darkness comes this night. And the birds fell silent in the sky as the clouds rolled o'er the sun, and the shiny crows with glittering eyes gathered for the feast to come. In battle joined with horse and gun, the crown and faith to gain, Sir Thomas led with gallant deeds until he fell in pain. Oh, take me home to Myerscough, hang my sword on the wall. I fear my time is almost through, and lie in my own hall. No quarter, cried John Lilliburn, just kill them where they stand. Like dogs they'll die that none may turn and bite Lord Cromwell's hand. And the fire lads fell to bloody pikes around where Tyldesley lay, as Derby escaped to meet his fate upon another day. Then up spake young Rigby as the tears ran down his face, and the finest knight in England has died in this awful place. I will erect upon this spot a stone for all to see, that future man shall never forget Sir Thomas Tyldesley.
In days gone by, when the world was much younger, men harnessed the wind to work for mankind. Seamen built ships to sail o'er the ocean. Landsmen built windmills, the corn for to grind. It's around and around and around when the brig sails,
turning the shafts and the great wooden wheels, creaking and groaning, the millstones kept turning, grinding to flour the good corn from the fields.
Through Flanders and Spain to the lowlands of Holland, from the kingdoms of England and Scotland and Wales, windmills grew up all along the wild coastline, ships of the land with their high canvas sails.
It's around and around and around when the big sails, turning the shafts and the great wooden wheels, creaking and groaning, the millstones kept turning, grinding to flour the good corn from the fields.
The Lancashire lads worked hard with a good earth, ploughing and sowing as the seasons declare, waiting to reap the rich golden harvest, while the miller he idled his mill to repair.
It's around and around and around when the big sails, turning the shafts and the great wooden wheels, creaking and groaning, the millstones kept turning, grinding to flour the good corn from the fields.
Windmills so old of wood blacked by weather, windmills of stone glaring white in the sun, windmills like giants ready for tilting, windmills that died in the gales and were gone.
It's around and around and around when the big sails, turning the shafts and the great wooden wheels, creaking and groaning, the millstones kept turning, grinding to flour the good corn from the fields.
It's of a flash frigate, Pique was her name, all in the West Indies she bore great fame. For cruel hard usage of every degree, like slaves in a galley we ploughed the salt sea, derry down, 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 derry down. At 4 in the morning our work to begin, in our tween decks and cockpits a bucket might swim. Our main deck top foreman so loudly do moan, for standard for holy stone, both great and small, derry down, 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 derry down. Now Mr. McKeever, you know him right well, he comes up on deck and he cuts a great swell. It's up on them yards, lads, a goddamn your eyes. I'm got a pump handle to trim down your size. Derry down, 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 derry down. And now, me brave boys, comes the best of the fun. It's hands about ship and the reef topsails won. It's lay aloft topman, the helm comes round, and clew up your t'gallants as the main yard comes down. Derry down, 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 derry down. Now you twids up to back'ard, I'd have you to mind. If you spit on the deck, that's your death warrant sign. If you spit over bow, over gangway or stern, you're short of 3 dozen, be way of no harm. Derry down, 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 derry down. So now, brother shipmates, where'er you may be, from the West India frigates I'd have you keep free. For they'll have you and work you till you ain't worth a damn. then they'll send you half dead to your dear native land. Derry down, 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 Derry down.
Sambo, you lie so far from home, quietly by the seashore, never more to roam, sleeping, or so your gravestone says, waiting for your mask and lonely days. Faithful, you cross the wild grey seas, to this foreign country, far from your West Indies, deserted at 14 years of age. You turn your young face to the wall, and pining closed your eyes. Sambo, you lie so far from home, quietly by the seashore, never more to roam, sleeping, or so your gravestone says, waiting for your master these long and lonely days. Now peoples are just the colour of your skin. They called you pagan, heathen, and ignored your soul within, yet kindly seamen dug your grave, and by the western ocean you tenderly were laid. Sambo, you lie so far from home, quietly by the seashore, never more to roam, sleeping, or so your gravestone says, waiting for your master these long and lonely days. Now children walk that grassy shore, to lay sweet flowers upon your grave you will never want for more. And traveller, if ever you're passing by, just pause and think of Sambo and man's old dreary ways. Sambo, you lie so far from home, quietly by the seashore, never more to roam, sleeping, or so your gravestone says, waiting for your master these long and lonely days.
She lies there in the old scrapyard, 200 tons of rust. She's obsolete and out of date, to be broken up she must. But spare to her a kindly glance if e'er you're passing by. For over there in the old scrapyard, the Lord Middleton must die. For 30 years she caught the fish and roamed the Arctic seas. She fought the wind and the terrible ice as she struggled to be free. But ne'er again will the trolls come in, nor the gulls around her fly. For over there in the old scrapyard, the Lord Middleton and death. On the long patrols through the ice and snow, she never paused for breath. She dodged those steel torpedoes and heard shells whistle by. Now over there in the old scrapyard, the Lord Middleton must die. No more will she pass the Morecambe light, no more will her siren sound. No more will her engines pound the night, no more is she outward bound. No more will she wander the icy sea, nor her smokestacks smear the sky. For over there in the old scrapyard, the Lord Middleton must die. She lies there in the old scrapyard, 200 tons of rust. She's obsolete and out of date, to be broken up she must. But spare to her a kindly glance, if e'er you're passing by. For over there in the old scrapyard, the Lord Middleton must die. In my father's own land, I was born to be free. I was born to the island, the boats and the sea, to live and to work as my father had done. But I've no sons to follow, the young ones have gone. Fare thee well, my island, my home. It's away o'er the ocean, now I must roam, to find the new land and to learn the new ways. But I hope to return in the future one day. The homes are all empty, no fires in the hearth, and the nettles grow tall all along the old path, where as children we ran and we played our rough games. Now the children have grown up, the islands have changed. Fare thee well, my island, my home. It's away on the ocean, now I must roam, to find a new land and to learn the new ways. But I hope to return in the future one day. I have known the bad days of the wild roaring surf, felt the rain on my face as I caught the peat turf, and I've mended the nets in the evening soft glow. Now these are my memories wherever I go. Fare thee well, my island, my home. must say goodbye.